With this brief introduction of the panelists, I now request the Honorable Chairman of this session, His Lordship Justice A.K. Sikri, to initiate the panel discussion with his opening remarks.
Thank you very much and good evening to all of you. Before congratulating ITAT, I think I must congratulate the audience here and rather thank the audience. My congratulations to ITAT for two reasons, I would say. First is, yes, you are celebrating your 79th Foundation Day, and these are the celebrations, and you have completed 79 years. And it is remarkable. It's not only the oldest tribunal of the country, but by far the most successful tribunal among all the tribunals in the country. There's no doubt about it. So that is one reason for the congratulations. Second and more important reason, I would say, is this particular topic which you have chosen. It is not that ITAT has thought it's a day for celebration, but it is a day for introspection also. And having frank and open debate on such a topic, that what are the expectations of the stakeholders from ITAT, let us discuss that. So frankly, you are in the public, you are among various stakeholders who are represented here on the dais and the stakeholders who are sitting off the dais. You have shown that kind of transparency that we are here. You tell us what are the expectations of all the stakeholders from us, and we are here to meet those expectations. At the same time, as I understand that while listening to those expectations, you will be giving response as to how you have been meeting, how there may be some limitations as well, and where you intend to go. So this kind of vision statement coming out of such a session, when you talk of expectations of the stakeholders, it becomes very important. And this also, according to me, signifies what Roscoe Pond, one of the great American jurists, he had said, and I quote, "Historically, there are three ideas involved in a profession." Here I am including not only the professionals who appear before you, but ITAT as an institution, as a profession. So there are, historically he says, there are three ideas involved in a profession, that is organization, learning, and spirit of public service. So I would say that this topic again, you have tried to imbibe all the three ideas by not having a perfect, trying to have a perfect organization, trying to learn what is happening, and trying to be of public, in the spirit of public service, trying to do that. What is the context in which we think of these expectations of the stakeholders? First and foremost, it's the taxation department or the government or the revenue which comes into the picture, because it is the laws are passed to collect the taxes. There is no doubt about it. And as we know, the genesis or justification for all types of taxes is that government needs money for so many purposes, and therefore it has to tax, and it signifies in a way, legal way of extraction of money from the people, and which one can say rob the Peter to pay the Paul, because you are robbing those who can pay, robbing them just to pay the Paul. That means those who are in need of social, schemes, etc., and the welfare schemes. So the government is able to spend on that. No doubt about it. As far as justification for tax laws is concerned, everybody accepts. But at the same time, if you see it from the second stakeholder, that is the taxpayer, from his point of view, the this is one tax or element, and when the taxpayer has to pay, which is paid very reluctantly, normally by the taxpayers. There may be so many reasons for that. As I said, to rob the Peter to pay the Paul, so Peter thinks that he is robbed, but nothing in return is given to Peter. But what is going from my pocket is spent only on Paul, and therefore why I should pay the taxes? Apart from that, of course, taxes are to be paid, but it becomes a cause of concern when the tax rates also, the taxpayer feels that the tax rate is very, very high. And so therefore, why so much of tax that when I earn only because of this reason that I have to pay it to the government? Then why should I earn at all? And other reason would be, of course, these are the reasons which we are not concerned with, that goes to the policy making. But insofar as even the honest taxpayer is concerned, the feeling is that, look, even if we pay the tax, and I honestly pay the tax, I am still harassed by the tax department. Why there should be unnecessary harassment to an honest taxpayer? Now, in this context, of course, the other stakeholders these are the two main stakeholders, but the other stakeholders who come into the picture are the lawyers or the chartered accountants who are representing the taxpayers, and the government councils or departmental representative who represent the revenue. So, of course, the policy maker, there is, in the sense when it comes to the implementation of the tax laws is concerned, the Central Board of Direct Taxes, which is there. So they also think that, yes, in the whole hierarchy, of course, the system is made. As I said, that the taxpayer may think that in a particular case, he or she is harassed by the income tax officer who has done the assessment. But the law takes care of these things. There is a provision for filing appeal before the Commissioner of Income Tax, and thereafter the second appeal where ITAT comes into the picture. Of course, there is another appeal to the High Court, then specially petition by way through that route one can go up to the Supreme Court. But in this whole hierarchy, ITAT becomes a very, very important pillar. Why I say so? Number one, insofar as factual aspects are concerned, ITAT is the final authority, because appeal thereafter to the High Court is only on the substantial question of law. So therefore, the feelings of the taxpayer, if the taxpayer has been in a particular case harassed, the expectation is, even if it doesn't happen at CIT level, because sometimes the impression would be that CIT is also, after all, a part of hierarchy in the government department. He is an officer. But here is the first tribunal, which is a quasi-judicial body, comes into the picture, which is supposed to act impartially and fearlessly. So, therefore, not only, as I said, that it's a final authority insofar as determination of questions of fact is concerned, it is the first authority where the particular individual may feel that I may, if I am wronged, that I will get justice here. So in that sense, it becomes, this ITAT becomes a pivotal and very, very important institution in the ladder of the entire hierarchy. And I would say, because I know as a judge of the High Court, I have dealt with the appeals coming from the ITAT. I have dealt with these especially petitions in the Supreme Court also. But then the foundation which is laid down there at ITAT level, and we have to only proceed from there. So jurisdiction is very, very limited and very, very circumscribed. And in that sense, ITAT becomes one of the most important pillars in the entire hierarchy. That is one thing. And second thing which I want to say here is that, and which I have witnessed in last few years, with the advent of globalization, when it is not only now we have domestic tax issues of domestic nature, we have tax issues of international nature, international taxation which has come, and it is thrown open so many challenges. And here again, not only on the question of facts in those cases which may be very, very complex, but questions of law also which would come for the first time. Of course, we should admire here the income tax officers or the assessing officers also, because they have also to deal with these questions of law, and some of the orders which I have read of even at that level are highly intellectual orders of CIT also. But then what is to be quoted before the High Court or the Supreme Court is the order of the ITAT. So therefore, ITAT becomes the first stage in that sense, where important questions of law which have been coming are determined. And many judgments on international taxation which the ITAT has given are remarkable. There is no doubt about it. So in this entire scenario, how ITAT is faring insofar as expectations of the department, revenue, which includes CBDT, are concerned on the one side, and the taxpayer on the other side. So that is the theme of this particular session. And with these introductory remarks, let me tell you the structure how we are. It's not that individual speakers are going to speak and they are going to, it's going to be a monologue in that sense. We have Justice Ishwar. You know it, he had been in the ITAT for almost 20 years, and president of the ITAT also for so many years before he was elevated as a judge of the High Court. I had the privilege of being with him. I think I gave him oath, yes, as acting Chief Justice of Delhi High Court, but I had wonderful time with him, and I know he is the authority on tax. So therefore what we decided was that going by his experience, he should be moderating this session. So the structure is that he would be asking question to the panelists, and what are their responses on that. With this, I hand over to Justice Ishwar. Thank you very much.
Download Tarang online radio app from Google Play Store.
You are listening to Tarang Devotional Online Radio.